Hey attorneys, Anita Tallman here from Social Firestarter. Do you know exactly where your clients are coming from? Okay, this is a question I ask attorneys all the time, and unfortunately, most of the time, they don't really know that answer. Of course, they know the ones that are coming from word of mouth or from referrals. That's easy. But anything outside of that, they're not really sure. So I want to give you a suggestion on how to better track the ROI you're getting on the marketing dollars that you are spending. So this is what I want you to do, and write this down, or pause the video and go get a pen and paper. The question I want you to put on, well, there's two things. It really depends on whether you have an intake process that includes a form, or if you have an intake process that's over the phone. If you have an intake process that is on a form, something they fill out online, or something, of course, you give them when they come to the office, this is what I want you to do. I want you to add a question that says, what made you decide to reach out to us? Or it can say, what made you decide to contact us? Either one. So write that down. Include that on your form. Now, underneath that, I want you to put check all that apply, because there's going to be more than one thing that actually helps someone make a decision before they decide to reach out to you, right? And then what I want you to list out are things like your website, or you just write website. I would write Google reviews. I would write maps, Google Maps, and then write down any of the sponsored or paid ads you're doing. If you want to put Facebook, if you want to put what's the other one? Google AdWords, pay-per-click. If you're now doing Google Screened, if you want to add that on there. Now, if you use Google Screen, you may not want to say Google Screen because they're not going to know what that is. You may just want to say something like the Google Ads at the top, or a Google ad, or a Google sponsored ad, something like that. And then, of course, put in their word of mouth, referral. Those could be two other options. And then lastly, you want to put other and put a space, just in case there's something way they found you and you didn't have that listed, and you want them to be able to give that information to you. Now, if you are asking them this question over the phone, like you've got person who is your intake person, what you want to do is ask the same question. What made you decide to reach out to us? What helped you to decide to pick up the phone and call us? And then in this case, if it's over the phone, I don't want you to give them an answer. I want you to wait and see what they say. If they kind of him-hum around and they're not really sure, him-hum around and they're not really sure, maybe they don't remember, then you can kind of trigger their memory. Say that, did you look at our website? Maybe you looked us up on Maps. Maybe you saw us on Facebook. Then you can kind of give them some information. But generally speaking, I would ask the question, what made you decide to reach out to us? Again, either on a form or verbally. The reason you want to do it like that is because a lot of attorneys say, hey, how did you hear about us? And then they get the usual, right? The internet. Well, that's not very helpful. That could be social media, that could be SEO, it could be maps. I mean, who knows? PPC. So when you use the word decide, what made you decide? What you're going to get, hopefully, is more of what was it that convinced that person to reach out to you? Did they see your reviews and love them and saw that you have 48 reviews and they're all mostly 5-star? Did they look at your website? Were they reading a blog, for example? Did they look at a video on YouTube? So when you use the word decide, hopefully that will help you get a little bit better information on what it is that is working as far as the marketing that you're doing. Okay, I hope that helps out. Rewind this video if you want, so you know exactly what you want to put on your intake form or include in your intake process. Otherwise, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.